And I did want to explain part of the reason that everything is so clustered towards the bottom left is because that's just a beautiful picture. Which is, I mean, it's. How old is this game? What year Fallout New Vegas? I believe it's older than Skyrim. Significantly. Well, it's set in 2281, but that's not what I'm looking at. Not what I'm looking for. I do love how the AI is very specific, though. What year was it released? October 2010 in North America. Okay, so it's a 16-year-old, well, 15 and a half-year-old game. Looks damn good. Let's see here. Chat is good. We will check the chat bot and see if that's running, and then we'll get into the Fandom Friday stuff. Chatbot is fuckered. Though that may be my delay, which reminds me, I do want to actually remove that. Let me see. Advanced stream delay duration will be changed to off and applied. Okay, now you folks may have seen a sudden judder in my stream, and I do apologize if you did, but yeah, we'll do another quick chatbot check just on the off chance it works. Son of a bitch. Isn't that awesome? We'll just drop that window down instead of closing it for once, because that just makes my life so much easier. And we will get into the stories. And we start with a bit of a concern for everybody. William Shatner fell off a horse. So we will full screen this. And okay, we will go back to not being full screen so I can read the headline. William Shatner had to have surgery after wild horse accident sent him flying. I'm not a young stuntman anymore. Bill, brother, you were never a young stuntman. You may have done some of your own stunts. The Star Trek legend, who turns 95 later this month, fell off his horse late last year. And he's looking a little... Well, he's looking his age. Actually, no, he's looking about 20 years younger than he is, but still. William Shatner's hoping to be pain-free after undergoing surgery on his shoulder following a scary horseback riding accident late last year. The 94-year-old actor, who's set to celebrate his 95th on the 22nd of March, so that's 9 days from today, had an operation on his right shoulder on Wednesday, reports page 6. Star Trek's original James T. Kirk opened up about the procedure during the Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror Films 53rd Annual Saturn Awards in Burbank on Sunday. As he accepted the Hall of Fame award on behalf of the Star Trek franchise, Shatner said he was feeling, quote, old, tired, and kind of hurt. Dude, you're 95 years old. It's about time you started feeling your age. I will also point out, I'm 45 years younger than you, and I think I feel older than you most days. Before launching into a story about his equestrian mishap. I ride the horses that can compete in equine skills, which is fast down and ends, maybe, on a sliding stop. And the horse that I owned, I came off. So it wasn't a wild horse. It was a wild horse accident. The accident itself was wild. I didn't think he was trying to break a bronco. He told the press at the event, adding that his horse, quote, had a habit of going too far, like 6 inches to the side. And that, as a result of it, and the fast trot, he fell off. Despite his experience with stunts that helped him brace for the impact, the Boston legal alum was seriously injured in the fall. I'm not a young stuntman anymore, he said. I started to roll, but hit the dirt with my shoulder, so I wrecked my shoulder. This is a slightly older picture of Shatner riding a horse. He does appear to have most of the safety gear on. Chaps and a saddle. The actor added he was scheduled to undergo, quote, a new type of shoulder operation called a reverse something or other. You want to watch those something or others. On March 11th, saying you put the ball in the socket and the socket in the thing, and you come out 10 hours later and you're pain-free. So that's what I am meandering towards. Entertainment Weekly has reached out to representatives for Shatner for comment and an update. And, of course, this is not the first medical complication the legend has faced in recent months. In September, Shatner was hospitalized after suffering, quote, an issue with his blood sugar. He's 95 years old. Surprised that's all the issues he has. He took to Instagram a day later to share a mustached photo of his of his face emblazoned with the words, "Rumors of my demise have been greatly exaggerated." Let's see if we can get that Instagram post. That's awesome. That's, I believe, a callback to, was it Mark Twain or Phileas Fogg, maybe? I'm not sure. He reassured followers he was just fine in the caption, writing, "I overindulged. I thank you all for caring, but I'm perfectly fine. I keep telling you all, don't trust tabloids or AI." Well, as someone who had to deal with Nomad on the original show, he would know not to trust AI. And then, of course, there was V'ger. At the time, TMZ reported that Shatner had been rushed to the hospital on September 24th after he experienced a blood sugar issue in his LA home and called emergency services as a precaution, per his agent, Harry Gold. Shatner was then transported to a local hospital where he was examined before being sent home. Despite his age, the actor continues to keep an active lifestyle, working on various projects like History Channel's The Unexplained. In 2021, he made history as the oldest man ever to go to space, when he flew on Blue Origin's NS-18 mission at the age of 90. Yeah, he's an old man. But goddamn if he's not living his fucking life. Oh, and I have to go back again for this. The Vampire Lestat, I have no idea what this is. I am a bit of a vampire fan. I did very much enjoy the Anne Rice books and the original 2 movies, even though the second movie was really 2 books smashed into one. The Vampire Lestat gets a premiere date and releases its opening credits. Fans of Anne Rice's Immortal Universe on AMC have eagerly awaited the new season of Interview with the Vampire, which focuses on the immortal rock star. Oh, it's the AMC series. That's what this is. I was aware of the AMC series, but I had written it off as horrendously woke. So I don't know if it was or not. Apparently, they've renamed the series to The Vampire Lestat, which is part of the reason why I wasn't aware of this. Fans of late author Anne Rice's Immortal Universe will finally get their long-awaited immortal rock star on Sunday, June 7th. Okay, then. Network also released the opening credits for the new season, which features a new song from the upcoming season, All Fall Down, by series composer David Hart and performed by star Sam Reed. The show previously dropped single Long Face, February 13th. New season sees Reed's Lestat de Lioncourt. I really wish Anne Rice had known the French for Lionheart, because that's not it. Living the Rockstar Life as Vampires have been outed by author Daniel Malloy in his book. Okay, so this is based on the Interview with the Vampire premise of an interview with a vampire. Sorry. Moving on. Dungeons & Dragons launches 1983 animated series YouTube stream today. Yeah, fucking cool. The classic 83 Dungeons & Dragons animated series is streaming on YouTube starting today at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Eastern Time. That would be 4:30 Newfoundland. Hasbro is releasing the first 3 episodes, with new episodes dropping on Fridays on their channel. Originally airing on CBS, the series captured 1980s high fantasy excitement and tabletop game inspiration. The show was a nostalgic favorite. I never actually watched the show that much when I was a kid. I think I caught maybe half of one episode and didn't really care for it all that much. But that's me. I wasn't into Dungeons & Dragons at the time either. I did like the concept of the Cavalier, though. A character who has no weapon but a shield. Before the Peter Jackson adaptation of Tolkien's Lord of the Rings and Martin's Game of Thrones... Oh, God. They're going to try to tie this to... Okay. Dungeons & Dragons is not high fantasy. It's accessible fantasy. It's common fantasy, for lack of a better term, which isn't to denigrate it in any fashion. It's more, and they do cite Conan here, it's more like Conan. It's every man's fantasy. Or an everyman fantasy, to get my point across properly. I don't think it's fair to call it high fantasy. It's certainly not epic. Is this a link to their channel? It is, in fact. Let me throw that on my watch later. And I will open it on YouTube and grab the link for you guys. Throw it in chat. Any second now. Premieres in 2 hours. Notify me. Okay, there's the link. Oh, and of course, like an idiot, I've put my chat window away. We'll bring that back up. Smash that over. And there's your link to the Dungeons and Dragons, ouch, stream when it comes on. So 3 episodes, be about an hour-ish, give or take. They were usually 20-minute episodes back then. Let's see how nostalgic this fellow waxes. Are they still looking for that portal home? Okay. So Dungeons Wizards posted that. I have different issues with Wizards. Marvel brings back S.H.I.E.L.D. with Stormbreaker's variant covers. Now, I have no idea what Stormbreakers is. But the fact that I just wanted to look at pretty pictures was the whole reason for the comics thing. So that's what we're doing. Marvel revives S.H.I.E.L.D. with new Stormbreakers variant covers across top titles this April and May. Nick Fury Jr., that would be the Sam Jackson version, leads the newly reimagined S.H.I.E.L.D. as part of the build-up to the Armageddon event. Stormbreaker's artists suit up Marvel heroes like Cyclops, Thor, and Deadpool as agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The one that caught my attention was Wolverine, of course. Didger's in. He says, I like that cartoon show. Also, hi. Hi, Didger. How you doing? Yeah, I was not a huge fan of that particular cartoon. I think because I generally didn't have that network. When I was a kid, we had 2 channels on the antenna. And I don't think Dungeons and Dragons was one of the ones that showed up on Saturdays at the age that I was aimed at, or I would have been in the target demographic. Let's see. Meet the 2024 Stormbreakers, Marvel's elite artist team. Well, we'll just have a look at these pictures first. So we've got the Deadpool cover. I'm going to open all of these in separate tabs so we can have a look at them all and give them all a good look. I do like that they have Nova. I'm not shocked. Oh no, wait, that might be Psylocke. And of course, the more feminine the name. Oh, I think I accidentally opened tabs or links instead of images here. Okay, let's have a look at these. So we have Deadpool. Oh, way too big. Let me shrink that just a touch. There we are. Deadpool number 3. Okay, Shield Pool. This doesn't look particularly different from his X-Force uniform, so it's a Deadpool image. Also, he is way too scrawny in this. Jeff Shaw was the artist on this one. We'll actually close that because I won't need it. Close this one now. I do like this rendering of Wolverine from Juan Frigeri, or Frigeri. I don't care, dude. If you want it pronounced properly, change your spelling to a phonetic pronunciation. Oh, Didger says Eric was funny, cowardly but funny. I think he was named Eric. Was that the Cavalier? Yeah. I actually really like this style of art. This is quite nice. If I was advising Juan on anything, I would suggest that maybe you should make the faces a little more detailed. But Wolverine in a S.H.I.E.L.D. uniform has always been something I've liked, so I dig this. It's not much of a S.H.I.E.L.D. uniform, but it's Thor from Netho Diaz. Now, this is very nice work. Great detailing on the faces. Accent, but not cluttered. An out-of-order rainbow is an interesting choice, I suppose. Actually, maybe it's not. Let me see. Roy G. Biv. Red, orange, yellow. Yeah, it's kind of right. I think, though, it's a bit of a artifice so that he could have these lines. Though, this is a bad detail here. Yeah. But, I mean, this is probably a fairly new artist, so he's got loads of time to improve. Not quite sure why Mjolnir is all duct taped, but that's probably something story related. Nova in S.H.I.E.L.D. gear. It's very weird looking, but I kind of dig it. And it makes sense. In a way, they're both law enforcement organizations. This is Luciano Vecchio. I know how to pronounce Vecchio because I've actually heard Italians say the word. Yeah, I kind of dig this one. Proportionately, it's very good. He's not scrawny armed like the Deadpool picture. yeah, so very nice. What else have we got here? Is this supposed to be Psylocke? Apparently, Null got his own. Oh, I think this might be meant to be Hela. Okay. Simone DeMeo. Uh, this is unfortunately extremely generic. This could be anybody from Psylocke to Hela, and I'm only saying it's Hela because I see this helmet. Uh, yeah, this could be any number of characters. So, yeah. It's generic, but it's not bad. Simone DeMeo. DeMeo. Uh, Gurihiru. This is, I'm going to say Boom Boom, but I think they started calling her Boomer. This is a character from the original New Mutants comics. Originally from the New Mutants comics. It's very good treatment of the female form. It's not particularly busy. Though I think the swirl thing is getting a bit played out. Also, she doesn't throw fireballs. She throws time bombs. Alessandro Capuccio. I will say the Italians do seem to be doing some very nice work. Though both those Italian names could be New Yorkers, so it's hard to say for sure. Sorry, my hand is going numb. So this is Cyclops in Shield gear, and I'm digging this. I really like the way that they did. Again, as I said, the swirl thing is a bit much. This is more, and I will say I do like the element inclusion. This looks more like a James Bond influence. The opening sequence with the rifling down the barrel and then the zoom in. It's good. And I do like that they're still using the original, this artist used the original Shield logo. Though, whatever this is floating here, a piece of paper or what have you, not too sure about that. Good artwork, though. Very good. And our last one is Ben Grimm. And I'm really liking this as well. It's definitely captured the... I'm going to assume that's an old one. Which, I don't know that I'd send Ben Grimm to fight something that could wreck your brain. That's from Jonas Scharf. Good work, though, just the same. Though you may need some work on the lighting. Because that is a very bright light source behind him, and he's got some highlights in the wrong place on his mask and his outfit. Still, not bad. Okay, moving on to Bleeding Fool. We will reject all, thank you. So, I'm not a fan of this. And it isn't because I have any particular animus to the film or anything. I'm just not a big horror guy. I mean, if you ask me to name a horror movie, I'll either name something vampiric with vampires in it, or Event Horizon, which is far more heavily sci-fi than actual horror. Which actually kind of ties into this. This is sci-fi horror as well. So Kurt Russell has joined The Thing Expanded documentary. A new documentary called The Thing Expanded offers fans over 5 hours of fresh details about John Carpenter's 1982 horror classic, The Thing. The project comes from creator VC, the team behind Aliens Expanded, and other fan-favorite deep dives into cult films. Orders for limited edition packages close at midnight on March 24th, with digital delivery set for April, and Blu-rays in May. Excuse me. The 1982 film The Thing profoundly shaped horror cinema. It had some influence on science fiction as well. Released amid E.T.'s feel-good wave, John Carpenter's remake bombed at the box office and drew savage reviews for its gore and paranoia. Oh yeah, it was a remake too, I forgot about that. Many critics of the day branded it nihilistic trash, but it exploded into a cult masterpiece via VHS and cable reruns. Its practical effects, always the best choice, by Rob Bottin. At the time, I don't think there was really a option for all that much CGI. But practical effects by Rob Bottin set a gold standard that CGI still chases. This is true. The effects influence everything from The Mist to Stranger Things. In The Thing Expanded, Kurt Russell shares new stories alongside Carpenter. Keith David, who played Childs, joins Thomas Waits, David Clennon, and other surviving cast members. Veterans from the crew, cinematographer Dean Cundy, producer Larry Franco. I'll try repronouncing that as Kundi. I'm not 100% sure. Add behind-the-scenes accounts from the film's tough shoot in BC. Additionally, filmmakers such as Del Toro, Roth, and Darabont give their takes on the movie's impact. I would actually be interested to hear from all three of those men. The documentary covers script changes, creature effects, cut scenes, and the film's famous ambiguous ending. Buyers get their names in the credits, plus extras like posters, patches, booklets, and a custom soundtrack. Cool. Uh, Buyers get their names in the credits. That's actually really neat. Um, but in any case, the thing captured 1980s angst, Vietnam era alienation, and welfare state paranoia fill the story. Oh, there was a period there. Sorry, I thought it was a comma. Flesh acts as a porous border. Actually, I did want to go back and talk about the comment this fella made about the ambiguous ending. Did it have an ambiguous ending? I was under the impression that it didn't really. Mm. Uh, I'll take the opinion of someone who's more of a fan of the film than I am. I've seen it maybe once, all the way through. Flesh acts as a porous border. McCready's I Know I'm Human speech nails existential dread. It echoes in Tarantino's Hateful Eight and Del Toro's work. Backers rave about Expanded's 5-hour unpack of script drafts and fan theories. It's 5 hours long. Well, I'm definitely not reviewing it. It feeds hunger for authentic horror tales big studios ignore. Well, see, just having the word authentic, this is one of the things the studios are ignoring, is authenticity. Everything is so very artifice. And it's... Sincerity isn't a marketing ploy. It's actually something that you have to put into your films. Let's see. Film opened to 3.1 million against E.T.'s 11 million weekend. Yeah, it got its ass kicked. It finished with 19.6 on a $50 million budget. In the 80s, that's pretty fucking good. Laserdisc sales and HBO play turned it around by 85. Today it stands as National Film Registry material. Yeah, it's from what I understand from, and I do tend to lean on the opinions of others here, it's a very innovative and original film, even though it's a remake, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. The documentary revisits Botton's genius, Antarctic shoot woes, and that ending the studios hated. They actually shot part of that film in the Antarctic. I really should watch it, I think. In a streaming era of forgettable content, this honors a film that redefined paranoia horror. I almost said humor. Paranoia humor? It's got to be a niche genre. You can learn more and even get your name in the credits of this new documentary by visiting thethingexpanded.com, and I will drop that link in chat as well. And there you go. That's thethingexpanded.com. It's not hard to remember. Now, things that I've discovered today, since we were just talking about a crowdfunding documentary. Apparently, this fundmycomic.com is a platform for anyone who wants to make comics, and I guess other things from the looks of this, graphic novels, books, music. So this appears to be a sort of crowdfunding website. So, yeah, some of this looks pretty interesting, some of it looks pretty pulpy, and not necessarily in a good way, but since I was talking about sincerity a moment ago, passion. Yeah. That's one of the things that if you're going to do an artistic endeavor, you kind of have to be sincerely passionate about it. Crom the Destroyer? Gee, what could that be patterned off of? But my point being, if you're looking for people who give a shit about the things they're doing, it's probably not a bad idea to have a look at something like fundmycomic.com. Okay, back to Bleeding Fool. And more covers, actually. So Marvel has revealed the final covers for Spider-Man Superman #1. And I'm going to open these images in new tabs as well, because some of them are bad. Okay, it's only the 4, so we'll give a quick read of the story here. Marvel and DC's newest crossover comic is only a few months away. It hits in March. Well, how old is this story? It's March. From like 2 days ago. Celebrating the 50th anniversary of Superman vs. The Amazing Spider-Man, the first ever crossover, each one-shot features team-ups of two of the world's most beloved superheroes, Spider-Man and Superman. Now, I think some of these covers are alts, but this one, I don't think this image is... it might be fairly new. If it is, I'm very impressed that the art's... Yeah, actually, it is probably new. I can tell somewhat by the anatomy of Superman's arm and stuff, and the bad anatomy on Supergirl's face. But these are quite nice looking. This one especially is quite nice looking. It's very much a callback to the style from the 80s and 90s. So, yeah, pretty pictures. Let me zoom in just a touch on this one. Now, the Marvel DC team-up you've been clamoring for. Thwip, thwip, and away. Oh, God, terrible. Also, Superman flies. But, yeah, I get the idea here. It's not bad. The Green Goblin. Brainiac. Not a pair you'd think to put together. And Dr. Octopus and Lex Luthor, same. Yeah. So, I mean, this is about the artwork, and it's nice looking artwork, though people really need to work on their faces a little more. Though this could be a partial issue with the inking or coloring, whatever the program is they use for that. This is... I absolutely love the composition of this cover. I don't like her hips. There's something anatomically incorrect about the way her hips are drawn here. But, I mean, it's Power Girl. Nobody's really looking at her hips. Let's be real, right? Oops. Just a second. Let me reset that. Yeah. And this one, I think, must be an alternate variant cover. I don't particularly care for the artwork in this one. Supergirl's face looks fuzzy. The S isn't really an S. Silk looks great. No, I'm going to take that back. With the way this was colored, this makes it look like her mask comes up over the eye. Ugh. And the legs don't look quite right, but that could be a perspective thing. The background looks great. Though you could have put a bit of detail on that seagull. Which, yeah, that's a seagull, not a pigeon. Okay, let's see. Digger, the Thing was damned awesome. See, I'm not a huge fan. The newer The Thing, not so much. Now, did Carpenter do the newer one? Or was that the middle one that Carpenter was remaking from an earlier one? See, I'm kind of confused about that, too. Let's see. More Bleeding Fool. No Heroes. Oh, gods. This one. Yeah, this James Gunn is... He either hates DC or he just hates his life. Because he's not working on things that he loves. You can tell by the way he's doing these things. When DC co-chief James Gunn first revealed his new superhero roadmap, Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters, fans hoped Lanterns would finally restore honor to the Green Lantern mythos. If you're going to do Gods and Monsters, do Gods and Monsters. Do the Justice League Gods and Monsters alternate universe story, where Zod is Superman. Or, well, Zod's kid is Superman. Where the Batman is actually Man-Bat. Where Wonder Woman is actually an Apocalypton. That story, the animated version of that was amazing. But, for some reason, DC can't seem to translate their amazing animated stuff into live action very well. or they don't even try. Also, calling it Lanterns. Listen for the click. There you go. According to the new trailer, this isn't a space adventure about courage and willpower. It looks more like another TV crime drama trying to wear a superhero's mask. Yeah. Aaron Pierre and Kyle Chandler. I knew I recognized this guy. In the roles of Stuart and Jordan. But they're not saving galaxies this time. They're driving dusty roads in Nebraska. Because they have a magic ring that lets them fly. But they don't. They meet a small-town sheriff who barks, "This is my town and you're a big shot. Noted, but stay the fuck out of my way." Yeah, let's see if we can find the trailer. Here it is. Close this, because really I came for the trailer.
With all due respect.
And full screen.
We've been training for what, 2 months? And I haven't even worn the ring yet.
You've been training him for 2 months, and he hasn't worn the ring yet. What the fuck? Seriously? 2 months, and he hasn't even put on the ring? That's not how the Green Lantern ring works. Ironically, the Ryan Reynolds movie did that better.
Don't get hung up on the jewelry, Junior. You're just a fucking substitute teacher. You're not ready to get up in front of the class until the ring says you are.
Until the ring says you are. You don't understand the Green Lantern mythos at all. Whoever made this is a fucking idiot. Congratulations, you're going to crash and burn badly.
Alright.
Also, fuck them for destroying that beautiful car.
I could have died.
You want me to train you? I'm training you.
Hal Jordan's not an asshole. What the fuck? Let's see. GETTR, there was the 1950s one, okay? John Carpenter's Thing from the 80s. Then the Norwegian produced The Thing, which is meh. Okay, I didn't even know there was a third movie. I think I might have had like an inkling of it and just kind of wiped it away. Excuse me. But, yeah. This is disgusting. And to make it very clear, I absolutely loved the Green Lantern mythos when I was a kid. Imagine being someone who was so brave that a magic space ring picked you to be a cop. Yeah, okay. Sorry, intergalactic cop? Or interplanetary, at least. Yeah.
Something is off here.
Yeah, everything looks brown. At least they've changed color on the... Everything has to be filtered through this particular lens. Did it have to be the shit lens?
Feel it.
Seriously, everything looks brown. Dusty.
This is my town.
Oh, of course, it's a girl boss sheriff who says that.
You're a big shot. Noted. But stay the fuck out of my way.
Think she hates your guts.
It's the way she hates them.
Really? What's that say? I can't make it out. I think it's probably an AI image anyway.
This is a stupid plan.
Not that stupid.
That I don't doubt. The Green Lanterns.
The Green Lantern suit. In tones of feces. And suede. Ugh.
Oath is to protect people.
Also, I will point out, that image feels like the end of a show. Possibly the end of the season. And I don't necessarily think it's either John's or Hal's suit. I would not be shocked if they introduce either Kyle or what's his name? Guy Gardner. Didger says it's the prequel to John Carpenter's movie and it underwhelms. Well, they made a prequel. That was just fucking stupid.
The Green Lantern's oath is to protect people. And we both know I do a better job of this than you.
Okay, there have been times in the comics where there has been that sort of tension between Stewart and Jordan. But it's never been that antagonistic. And it's never been unearned. This just looks like any cop show with a Green Lantern skin.
This is my job.
Also, if that was supposed to be blood, that was terrible work.
As long as I'm alive, that ain't changing. So take a deep breath, Junior.
You're old. You're tired.
That's a PT Cruiser. Yes, I do love those cars. No, I'm not going to apologize for it. What the fuck was that? Why did he need a runoff? Why is there no green effect? The ring isn't even glowing. So this is a Green Lantern show made on as cheap a as manageable a budget. Nice.
Your time is up.
Oh my god, was that the lantern? Okay. That prop looks like somebody really, really wanted to make Alan, the original comic book Green Lantern. Alan, not Spencer. The Golden Age Green Lantern. That looks like it came right out of a train. It looks like it's brass and glass. And it's gorgeous, if that's what it's intended for. In a modern science fiction superhero movie or show, no. That looks like trash. Scott.
Time is
Alan
up.
Scott.
I don't understand. Who are you exactly?
Hal Jordan, Green Lantern.
What finger did he have? Okay, it was his middle one. I thought it was. This looks like trash.
Have you ever talked with the other lanterns?
I'm the only human. They're aliens. One of them's a fucking squirrel.
Don't you shit on Chip ever again. Fuck you, James Gunn. Yeah, I'm not paying $11 a month for that trash. Okay, let's move on. Or move back to Bleeding Fool again. Did the Epstein... Oh, wait. No, not this one. This one I wanted to do another day. This one instead. This is not the way. Star Wars fans roast the Mandalorian Super Bowl spot. This is from a month ago. But it deserves to be shit on. Star Wars is supposed to be returning to the big screen in a few months with The Mandalorian and Grogu. But after the latest railer... Really, Bleeding Fool? Fans are wondering if the marketing geniuses at Disney and Lucasfilm even know what they're doing. Also, how did you not get a notification of this? Railer? I've never heard the word. What the hell are you saying in your off time that's auto-corrected? Fans are wondering if the marketing geniuses at Disney and Lucasfilm even know what they're doing. Let's just say something. Yeah, the Super Bowl spot was trash. I already looked at this once. Disney's executive VP of creative marketing tried to explain the 30-second spot, telling Variety, quote, Grogu is more than a character, he's a pop culture phenomenon. No, he was a pop culture phenomenon until you dumb fuckers put a name on him. When he was Baby Yoda, you were good. The minute you gave him a name, you fucked it completely. Because the mystery was just gone. It's like, oh, he's just a member of Yoda's species. Yeah. Oh, riding alongside the Mandalorian, he brings lightness, humor, joy. He's constantly eating other people's children. Seriously? Lightness? The kid is a terrifying fucking part. That kid is potentially the most terrifying thing I've ever seen. Absolutely no conscience and monstrous levels of power. No. No. Fuck off. What else have we got here? The marketing brand lead for Lucasfilm, Ryan Stankovich, backed that up, saying their team, quote, landed on a unique concept that gave a nod to classic big game spots of years past. Nostalgia. They're just trading on nostalgia. The backlash that followed demonstrates how many Star Wars fans aren't interested in fun, goofy concepts. Are you fucking retarded? Star Wars is a fun, goofy concept. It's fucking religious monks in space fighting with laser swords. How is it not fucking goofy? We're okay with goofy. That was just bad. They wanted some proof that a movie based on a TV series that had one of 3 good seasons even deserves a theater release instead of just another Disney Plus season. Getting a wink at Super Bowl with some member-berry nostalgia wasn't it. Absolutely. Yeah. And it's scheduled for release on the 22nd of May this year. Which, why didn't you go with the 4th? Because you don't want to honor the traditional Star Wars fan. Yeah. Okay, what have we got from Fandom Pulse on Substack? X-Men editor Tom Brevoort treats readers like pay pigs for slop. Gee, can't imagine why they would do this. Marvel Comics executive editor Tom Brevoort recently revealed his philosophy toward fan reactions in a Word Balloon podcast interview. Excuse me. He'd rather make readers angry than indifferent. Have you thought about trying happy? Inspired? You know, aspirational? Confirmed in their beliefs? No. You want to make them angry rather than indifferent. You had indifference because you guys all just kept doing the same cynical marketing shit. Oh, we've got a fairly popular character who's been around for a while and the sales are starting to slump. Let's kill him and bring him back. Yeah. See, when you killed Superman, and I'm talking to the industry as a whole, when you killed Superman and brought him back, lots of us were like, shit, they killed Superman. That means they could kill anybody. That's great. Let's go read comics again. Shit, they brought him back. Well, fuck. And then they did it with Batman. And then Spider-Man. And then they did the Clone Saga. Oh my, fuck the Clone Saga. Yeah. And then they fucked Captain America around. And then they fucked Iron Man around. Yeah, it was terrible. Cynical approach. That's exactly it. Yeah, you're treating comic book readers as captive consumers. Another reason why I wanted to bring that fundmycomic.com thing up. We need to get back to making comics, or to comics made by people who actually have the passion for it. The Firefly reunion announcement is 3 days away. I'm already getting tired of this. And I'm a fan. Fan speculation about a Firefly reunion is hitting its peak since the days of Serenity, with Nathan Fillion's marketing campaign about to come to a climax with an announcement teased to come at AwesomeCon on Sunday. A couple of weeks ago, Fillion began posting to Instagram with different videos with cast members cracking jokes, making a variation of different "Are you ready? Is it time?" type of questions. The one with Alan Tudyk, where he got slapped, was actually quite entertaining. Speculation abounded over the last couple of weeks as to whether fans would finally be getting a full Firefly reunion, which is impossible. Ron Glass is gone. But notably absent was Alan Tudyk, who played the pilot Wash in the original show. He was infamously killed in the Serenity movies? Movies? Fucking writers. He was infamously killed in the Serenity movie in one of the most controversial plot decisions of the show. This week, Tudyk was confirmed for the project. There are ways you can bring a character back and have it not look fucking terrible. Adam Baldwin still looks fucking amazing in that hat. And Ron Glass, who played Shepard Book, cannot be in this because he sadly passed away in 2016, 10 years ago. Also notably not being mentioned so far is creator Joss Whedon, who fell prey to the Me Too craze several years back with allegations of misconduct on the set of multiple productions. His involvement might prove too toxic for Disney to want to deal with, which many fans have grumbled that the show wouldn't be right without him writing. Well, it's his baby, and yeah, you know. One possibility is an animated film, which would end up being a prequel, or a trilogy of animated movies. This would solve a couple of problems for Firefly, since it can be set in the past, the death of Wash in the universe and Ron Glass's death in real life. Babylon 5 recently made an animated film. I did not know that. I'll be looking for that. Let's see. The Road Home, which recast a few of the main characters with voices that sounded like the originals because so many of the actors have passed away, and it did fairly well for Warner Brothers. Beyond solving the death problems, it also makes it easier for the cast who are involved in many different projects. They can record voices from their homes or other studios in short segments and turn them into an editor to complete a production quickly. Yes, or they could just, do them all at once. While fans might not like something that doesn't continue the story quite as much as a full... Also, for fuck's sakes, dude. You write for a living and you don't know where to put an apostrophe? Continuing the story quite as much as a full new reunion, this is a viable option that is easy to make and would likely be profitable. A full streaming series seems unlikely. I could see the animated thing. That would make sense. Or this could be a giant tease from some actors who are excellent at self-promotion and be something else entirely. That would be awfully cynical, and that would destroy any goodwill they have with fans. Yeah, and if they did that, they might have an angry mob of fans who are already tired of Firefly reunion greenlit posts coming every April 1st, followed by April Fools from entertainment media outlets for the last 20 years. Yeah, there's that too. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Jamie Lee Curtis admits it is a desperate time in Hollywood as work dries up. You have no one to blame but yourself. And I don't mean Jamie Lee Curtis, I mean Hollywood. You have no one to blame but yourself. You have been turning out garbage for the last 10 years, give or take, almost constantly. And your fan base is dropping and dropping and dropping. No one wants to go to theaters. Theaters were where you were making your biggest money. Nobody's interested in that either. Why would you when you can sit naked on your couch eating Cheetos to, bring up a stereotype and pause a film whenever you want to get up and go get another snack or use the washroom or whatever. And especially when Hollywood was making longer and longer and longer films, which basically ended up testing your ability to retain your bladder. That kind of takes you out of the story. There's a reason an hour and 20 minutes was generally the best length of time for a film. Yeah. So, Jamie Lee Curtis declares that it is a desperate time in Hollywood. It is a desperate time. The New Republic is everywhere. In Hollywood, his work has dried up so much that even lead actors are competing for small roles. Yeah, that's because... Well, I'm sorry, Jamie Lee, but there's also a reality you have to face. You're aging. And aging women aren't selling as many tickets. Didger says, I liked B5, but I was glad when it ended. JMS's love of melodrama is greeting. Yeah, it's... Not everything can be for everyone. And this is a lesson Hollywood needs to learn. Despite describing it as a desperate time, Curtis is optimistic, because of course she is. She thinks she's going to be, relevant. Speaking of relevant, and actually something relevant to this story, I watched pretty much the entirety of Skeleton Crew as I was recovering from my trip yesterday. It's good. It's not great. It's Star Wars. It's definitely playing on the member berries. It's not aimed at the youngest demographic that could watch it, but it's got enough in there for an adult to go, yeah, this is Star Wars. The ending, very good. There's... Jude Law actually did a great job as the main adult character, is the best way to put it. The kids weren't terrible to watch, though there was some obvious modern writing in it for one of the girls. But I would put it in the Star Wars universe. I think it belongs in there. And the great thing about it is, this is now the farthest into the future that anything has been done except the sequel series. If Disney decanonized the sequel series and built from where they finished, with things like The Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, Skeleton Crew, yeah, not a bad idea if they can decanonize the Acolyte as well, because, dear God, that thing was a trash fire on wheels. In any case, James Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi film is rumored to be dead. Dawn of the Jedi wasn't a great series anyway. A new rumor claims that James Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi film is dead and will not be going forward at Lucasfilm. Good. Because nobody wants to see the origins of the Jedi before they have lightsabers. If you have a Jedi who doesn't have a lightsaber, it sucks. Hell, when you have a character who has a lightsaber, the show is immediately better. Skeleton Crew. Minor spoiler. Yeah. This latest rumor comes from insider Jeff Snyder on the Hot Mic show. A viewer asked, with Beau Willimon working on the Game of Thrones movie, is the James Mangold directed Dawn of the Jedi dead? They're making a Game of Thrones movie? Why? Snyder replied, I have heard that is true. I heard this week, actually. I just heard it, that it's, like, dead, but I haven't asked. I can't say conclusively. It doesn't sound good. I think Mangold is focused on that Timothée Chalamet heist movie, is what I think, and I think Swamp Thing could be after that. Mangold doing Swamp Thing? Maybe. What? I really hope they're not planning... Oh, Christopher Dent. Oh, yeah, okay, I've heard that. Mangold's film was announced back at Star Wars Celebration 2023. Lucasfilm press release claimed the movie would, quote, take audiences deep into the past, telling the tale of the first Jedi to wield the Force and harness it as a liberating power in an era... Oh, dear God. So it's not even Jedi before lightsabers. It was Jedi before the... Fuck off. They weren't even called Jedi before they knew how to use the Force. Gods. Just terrible. Yeah, I really do hope that one's dead. Ellen Richson claims moviegoers are overwatching Marvel-type movies. Dude, you make Reacher. Reacher's a fucking superhero. Fuck off. And that's all I have to say to that. No, I'm not allowing ads on my stream. That's nice. From CBR, something called Marshalls. Now, the reason I clicked on this in the first place, I had no idea what this was because it was spelled M-A-R-S-H-A-L-L-S. 2 L's. And I was kind of curious if that was a family drama or what it was. It turns out to be a Western. Yeah. CBS seals the fate of Yellowstone spinoff just 12 days after series premiere. There's a bright future for the new Yellowstone sequel series, Marshalls, which debuted March 1st on CBS. I wasn't aware it was out, but I'll go have a look at it. I've watched a few episodes of Yellowstone, and it was okay, but not really my taste. Something like this, maybe I'll be more interested. Less than 2 weeks after it premiered, it's confirmed that there's more to come. They're going to do a second season. Marshalls was a major hit for CBS. So, let's check out the trailer. I will pause this. Bring this up. Oops. No, I think we're good. Yeah, okay. Okay, let me escape that. And blow it up again because it seems that I lost the video. Media could not be loaded. Server or network fail. Is that my internet down again? Nope. Okay. Well, let's try... Okay, we'll try this from YouTube then. And we'll mute the ad. Because fuck Verbo. Yep. Okay, and skip. And unmute. Okay. Okay, so yeah, Yellowstone. I think
Our
I need to watch
family's had this
Yellowstone.
land for almost 150 years. The only thing I ever wanted was...
God, that's quiet. I do apologize if I'm about to blow your ears off, by the way. We'll get back here to where this...
My family's had this land for almost 150 years. The only thing I ever wanted was taken from me.
Just a wellness check. It's more like a no man left behind kind of thing. I know you got your own demons to conquer, but jumping back into the fire is gonna do you right.
And I'll get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Welcome to the U.S. Marshals. Hey, Casey. Me and my Marshals.
Cal never shared he was buddies with Casey Button. Something special about...
Okay, I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of boss bitches in this, but I might still check it out. I think that's enough of that for now, since I've been at this for over an hour, or getting on to an hour. Let's move on, and then I'll take a quick break and do some gaming. No, I don't plan to log in or create an account. This one is also from CBR. Universal makes a bold move that puts it at odds with Netflix. So, movie theaters, and I'm just going to read this one paragraph and give you my opinion. Movie theaters have seen a decline in business over the past several years amid the continued rise of streaming. However, Universal Pictures will be taking a bold step forward by extending how long feature film releases will remain in theaters. I believe they're moving it from 17 days to 30? Let me see. Dropped from 90 to around 45. Okay, so here's the problem here, and I'll just leave this image up for now. This is, I think it's Darren Aronofsky is making the Odyssey, with, you know, the race swapped Helen of Troy. Because why wouldn't you? But my take on this is this. COVID absolutely destroyed the theater industry. No one wants to go to a movie theater anymore because, sorry, they're dirty, they're uncomfortable, and you have to deal with other people. People don't like other people, strangers, generally. Now, if you can get a group of people together, go to an event by yourself to watch a film, that would work. Something like a viewing hall or a series of viewing halls with food and drinks, yeah, that would work really well. But that's not what people are trying to do. They're trying to pack more and more people into these spaces to get as many eyeballs, well, as many asses in seats as possible. People don't want that anymore. Unfortunately, and it wasn't just COVID that did it. COVID just put the friggin' nail in the coffin. But the thing that has been doing it more than anything else for the last little while is the price. It is more and more and more expensive to go to a movie theater. It's becoming a more unreachable luxury for more and more people. Especially when you look at it and you go, well, I have this streaming service and it'll be showing this in 2 months, 3 months. Why would I spend $30, $40, $50 to go see a movie that I can not pay for because I've already paid for it months before? It doesn't make sense. Speaking of things that don't make sense, this is going to be the last article today. Wanda Sykes encourages Stephen Colbert to go the hell off during his final show and says he should burn this bitch down. Okay, we're going to close all of this now because that's all I really needed was that headline. Wanda Sykes is a fucking idiot. Not only that, but she's a clown. And not the good kind. Because she's never really been a particularly funny comedian. There's a couple of different mechanisms at play here. There's the business side of it, where she's competing with someone else for prominence. And there's also the female, I want to see someone else fail, so I have a reason to feel better about my own failures mechanism. On top of that, Wanda Sykes doesn't like white people. Why the fuck would Stephen Colbert take any advice from her? Also, when was the last time you saw Wanda Sykes on a late night show? Now, that's not to say that I like Stephen Colbert by any means. I still haven't forgiven him for that whole vaccine musical bullshit, let alone many other things. But, yeah, no, absolutely, Wanda, you're absolutely right. Stephen Colbert should burn every bridge possible on his way out the door. Are you just trying to be a chaos goblin? Because you're doing it wrong. You're supposed to be helping your coworkers and your fellows who are in your colleagues in the same sphere you're in. That's why it's called colleague. It's got a co in there. Yeah. Anyway, folks, I couldn't care less if Stephen Colbert leaves, if he leaves the planet, for that matter. Right. Okay, so I am going to take a short break. Stephen Colbert is burned down. Fuck that guy. Yeah, absolutely, Didger. Okay, so I will be taking a break here. I'll stop the recording shortly. If you would like to support what I do, please go over to Ko-Fi. Shoot me a few bucks. If you'd like to subscribe on Rumble or send me a rant, you can. I would prefer you did the Ko-Fi thing, but it's your money. You do what you want with it. And even if you don't support me financially, I mean, just as with Didger, being in chat, commenting, sharing the video, liking the video, following my channels, I absolutely appreciate all of it. In fact, I've been a little bit negligent the last little while. I've been meaning to add up and see how many following I have total. And I may have to do a thank you video at some point, because I think I'm well over 2,000 now. And, yeah, I mean, every single time I stream and I get likes, comments, chat especially, it's something that lifts me up, and it really makes me feel good to know that I'm actually making an impact on people, right? Now, to be fair, if you're following me on X, I also like to be a snarky bastard to people, so, you know, you get a little bit of each, so, yeah, you know, it's that, here's Twitter, and here's Rumble, and you've got good Ardent, bad Ardent, good Ardent, bad Ardent, yeah, good or bad, I'm the guy with the mic. Anyway, folks, I hope you're doing well. I hope you continue to do well. And as always, rise and rise again until lambs become lions. Bye-bye.